I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be My Girlfriend Said No to Sex. So we're going to talk about the seduction process. I got an email here from one of my YouTube followers or YouTube viewers, and he got together with his girlfriend, who happens to be a virgin. And so he critiqued me what happened, or he wrote down what happened and some of the things that he and his girlfriend were saying to each other. And when I start going through this stuff, you'll see in a minute, I'm going to point out where, women will sleep with you. They'll put themselves in your orbit, but you got to know what to do. And a lot of guys, since they don't know what to do, they're not prepared properly, they end up talking women right out of sleeping with them. And that's what this particular guy did, which is okay because he's still getting used to it. And plus, after all, this girl is a virgin. And to me, I think it's an incredible honor when a woman gives you her virginity. So he says, "Hey, Coach," he says, I invited my girlfriend to my house yesterday. Now, she's a virgin, just for the record. He said, basically, we watched some movies, but during this time, we got kissing, started getting all kissy-feely and touchy. It's always fun. She was grabbing my dick through my jeans and thrusting herself toward me to really press herself against me. She was grinding me, and we were having a lot of fun. And then I went to unzip her jeans, and she pulled away. I asked if she wanted sex, and she said no. You shouldn't. Don't say shit like that, dude. Do you want sex? It's robotic. It's like you went right from being in the flow of just letting things happen to logic and reason of a male mind. And when you do that, you totally get out of the moment and you make what was fun and exciting totally uncomfortable. And so when a woman, you went right for the pants, and this is like typically what inexperienced guys do. I take my time, and it's like unwrapping a Christmas gift. And typically you want to start with like taking the shirt off, or pulling her shirt out of her pants so you can run your hands up her back. And maybe when you get your arm around her back, I don't know if you've had enough practice with this, but if you get good, because women can tell a guy that knows how to undo a bra with just 2 fingers, if he's a little bit experienced. But if you're sitting there fumbling with it, you don't know how to undo the clasp, it's like, it's bad. It communicates to the girl that, he probably doesn't do this very often, or he hasn't taken enough bras off enough women to know how to just one flip of your fingers and boom, it comes right off. And so that's what you do. It's like you start with a top. And it's like, so you get her shirt undone, or if it's a button-down type of blouse, you unbutton it. And eventually you want to take the shirt off, and then she's got her bra on. And it's just kind of hanging there because you've already undone the strap. And then you just slowly take the bra off, and then you just fool around with that. And then a little while later, maybe you undo the top button in her pants and see what she does with that. See if she's cool with that. And so it's like each way, it's like you take a run at it, and you kind of, like I talk about, 90% of the time you're the charming James Bond, and 10% of the time you're the kid that flushes the M80 down the toilet at school and blows up the pipes. And that's what kids used to do in the 50s and the 60s and stuff like that, is because M80s weren't a big deal. They had waterproof wicks. You could light them, flush it down the toilet, and then as the thing goes down the toilet, it gets to some point in the line and then blows up, of course, blows a hole in the pipe. And kids used to think that was really funny. Obviously, the teachers didn't like it, and the school administrators didn't like it, but that's what I'm talking about. And so 10% of the time, it's like you're the naughty boy that goes a little step further to see how much you can get away with. And so if you got her shirt off and her bra off, and you're feeling her boobs and her nipples, and some women, not all of them, but some women, their nipples are very sensitive. And so all you got to do is just start rubbing their nipples, and I just totally turned on. I had a girl that was like that. All I had to do was touch her nipple, stick my tongue in her ear, kiss her ear, and she was ready to have sex. And it's just every woman's different. That's what's fun about being with women. You explore their bodies, and you just see what turns them on, what each of them likes. So so this is after he says, do you want to have sex? And she said no. Of course a woman's going to say that. She's going to say no, but the fact that she was grinding on you communicates that she's here's the thing, you get a woman to the point where she's so turned on and she can't take it anymore, she'll let go, and she'll open up to you to receive, because at the end of the day, you're the one that has the penis. You're the one that has to penetrate her. She doesn't penetrate you. You're the one that physically penetrates the woman. And so part of her opening up is she wants to just let go and receive you and let you take her and have your way with her. And when you say, do you want sex? It's like you sound like a male gigolo or something. It's like, don't say shit like that. It's like, never verbalize shit like that. Just go for what you want. And if she offers you a little bit of resistance, take your hands off her pants and then go back to kissing her or messing with her boobs or touching her or caressing her. And if she pushes you away, just hang back for a sec. She may even put her shirt back on and her bra back on. That's okay. It doesn't deter the kid that flushes the M80 down the toilet. It just means he's going to wait a few more minutes before he takes another run at that. And so you hang out, you talk for a few minutes, you ask her questions, and you caress her arm, and you caress her hair, and you just continually look into her eyes. And then after a few minutes of her talking, you say, bring those sweet lips over here. And so she'll bring her lips over, and you start kissing, you make out again, and then you slowly start working the top back off, and you get the bra off. And this is over the course of several minutes, and then you slowly go back to the pants, and then you undo that top button. And this time, she might leave it unbuttoned, and then you unzip it. And then you go to the zipper. And then you may get the pants off. And you just take your time. The idea is not to rush it. Just to keep, it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And you keep trying to see where her resistance is and what you can get away with. And the idea is once you get her completely naked, you may still have your underwear and your pants on. But remember, sex has got to be your fault. And because women all have this little slut alarm that society has given them because they don't want to be perceived as being loose or that they sleep around with a lot of guys because they'll get grief from their girlfriends about it. And so the idea is if you get her all completely naked and you still got some of your clothes on, go ahead and take the rest of your clothes off and then you just start fooling around. But a lot of guys aren't experienced. They go right for the pussy. It's just obviously what you did. You went right for her pants because she's grinding on you. And it's right for sex. You got to slowly unwrap the whole package. You got to appreciate the whole experience. And she's a virgin. She wants the experience to be magical. And it's just slowly happen to slowly unfold and be wonderful. And it was going there, and then when you said, hey, do you want to have sex? It's totally inappropriate thing to say. Don't ever say shit like that again. He says, she asked if it bothered me, and I said no, not at all, and I kissed her. She said, thank you. And after a few hours of just kissing and watching films, I took her home. See, you stopped. That was where you totally fucked up. Later, she was texting me, and I'll send you the text. And she says, hey, babe, I've been thinking about what happened. And then he says, oh, what's up? And she says, I don't really know what I'm so worried about when it came to sex. And what she got worried about is that you made the moment awkward. You stopped. I mean, you went from just having a good time and she put her brakes on just a little bit and then you just completely stopped and backed up. And so she says, I don't know what I'm so worried about when it came to sex. And so if you'd have just been cool and just backed off her and gone to a different part of her body instead of going, whoa, what's wrong? You would have probably gotten laid no problem. And then he says, if you're not ready, then you're not ready. Simple as that. He says, I respect that and I'll wait for you, hon. I guess it's one of them things that will just happen when the time is right. The time was right then. It's just that you got all in your head and fucked it up. You talked her out of it because you opened your mouth. I mean, sex, there really shouldn't be much talking. There should just be touching and kissing and tasting and doing all kinds of fun things. She says, yeah, I know, and thank you, babe. As I said earlier, I want to, and something's stopping me. But that something is just something that I can't even explain to myself. And I would say what's stopping her is you. You made the moment awkward. And then he says, I'm not sure either. Maybe it's fear. Now you're talking like a guy who doesn't know what he's doing. And you're going into your logical mind. Now you're looking for reasons why she didn't sleep with you. It's stupid. Bad way to go. And she says, I think it's fear because I am really comfortable with you. I just think it's fear about the experience itself. And then he says, I have that fear when I go to the dentist, LOL. And she says, indeed. But it's the same kind of sort of feeling. I'm thinking about all the embarrassing stuff that could happen. And then he says, I hear you. Well, you shouldn't think about it. Blah, blah, blah. And she says, I know. But keep thinking about if you see blood, it's embarrassing. And when a woman says, like, because sometimes a woman will say, oh, I'm on my period, and I'll just go, and if I'm in a relationship with her, I really dig the girl, I go, I don't give a shit. I already got my Red Wings, baby. And women will always giggle at that because you communicate that it's like you don't care, that stuff doesn't bother you. He says, just don't think about it, I'll help you every step of the way. And he says, as I said earlier, I'll wait for you, babe. And she says, aw, thank you. I'm not ready just quite yet. It will come through. Ha, I was worried that it might worry you. And he said, yeah, it's cool, no worries. Wait for the special ones and no special, and it's not special in a bad way. And she says, so I'm special to you. And then he says, words are just words sometimes. I want to show you. So basically what you did is you talked your girl right out of sleep, and she was totally, I mean, that's why she was grinding up against you. It's all sexual foreplay. It's building this sexual tension, and your problem is that you, as soon as she offered you any kind of token resistance, you stopped, you backed up, and you started talking. And you should shut your fucking mouth when you're in that position with a woman, and you let your lips and your hands and your body do all of the talking for you. And when she offers you resistance, you just back off slightly, or you go to a different part of the body, and then maybe a few minutes or a little while later, you go back to that part of the body. And like I said, you went right for the pants, which is guys that are inexperienced with women and making love and having sex. That's what they typically do. They go right for the crotch, and they don't touch any other part of her body. And that will piss women off because women want to open up slowly. They want to enjoy the experience, especially this girl being a virgin. And when you started talking, you just totally fucked the vibe up. So don't do that in the future, and I think you'll be fine. So more than likely, next time you guys get together, do exactly what you did before, but don't talk, and just gently lead. And when she offers you resistance, go to another part of the body. Start out with the top and her boobs and her bra first, and then it's like the crotch is like the last place that you want to go. Because it's like once you got the rest of it off, you know, the rest of her clothes off, it's all about building comfort, and you just be cognizant of that. So if you have a question you want to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which is going to be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. Actually, the Contact Me tab is going to be left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max detailing your questions, your situation, your challenges, and you just got to give me several days to get back to you with a detailed response, because I get a lot of email from the internet. And I also get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers, but be patient and I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. And you can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which is going to be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, go to my website, and underneath the email sign-up box is a little box that has a link that will take you to the Amazon Kindle download page for my book. Now, you don't have to have a Kindle device to actually read my book in Kindle format. All you have to do is download one of Amazon's free Kindle e-reader apps for your Android smartphone, your iPhone, your iPad, your Mac, your PC, tablet, whatever kind of device you have. Amazon has already created a free Kindle e-reader app. And once you've got that app on your device, then it only takes 60 seconds to download my book. And I will talk to you soon.